Hello Capricorn, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And look at that star card. I laugh and I smile because this is kind of the best card to get right at the beginning, right? This is the card of clarity. This is the card of spiritual insight. This is the card of revelation. This is the card of answering the questions, who am I and why am I here? I kind of feel like in this case, this card is answering the question, what's coming down the line? I think you're somebody that does know themselves. I feel like you've already answered these questions. Who am I? Where am I going? You know, I think it's just a matter of how fast will I get there and what kind of cool things am I going to see along the way. So I feel like you're somebody with a very, you're very in touch with the divine energy. All right. I feel that you have a host of guardian spirits, guardian angels, spirit guides, ancestor energy around you. I feel that there is a lot of there's a lot of light radiating around you in your life. I feel like you've got a lot of good people with you. Yeah. Physically and on the higher planes. Yeah. I feel like you're somebody that is very authentic. I feel as if you have self-respect. And what I mean is that you're not going to do anything or behave in any certain way, and you're not going to get entangled in anything unless you're ready for that to be a reflection of who you are. See, the star card illuminates first the inside, who we are, right? It's the light coming in from the top there, or the divine water, whatever you want to call it, spiritual energy. And it illuminates who we are, shows us what we're all about. So it shows us the good things and the bad things about ourselves, right? And we all have kind of positive and negative qualities. We're all human, I think, most of us. And so, you know, we accept these things about ourselves. And the light at the bottom, the cup, the water that's being poured out from the bottom is all of that inner illumination is allowing you to see perfectly the path before you. So by having that inner illumination, we then have the outer illumination. And also by knowing what our positive and negative qualities are, what our gifts and talents are, as well as what our challenges might be, we're able to then give authentically of ourselves to the world. Express our gift in the very unique way that only you can. We're all unique stars, right? And so by finding out who we really are inside, all of the different combination of ingredients, right, makes you a very unique individual. And I think that you are discovering that more and more lately. I think it's been heightened lately. And you're able to then take this inner gnosis and you're able to present it in a world where it's just you, authentically you, you know. And maybe right now you don't have any specific projects lying around that you're working on. Maybe you do. But I kind of feel as if you're just like kind of radiating yourself. And it's just, you know, whatever I might get involved with, I'm just bringing my authentic self into that, you know. And that feels really, really, really good because it feels like anything you get involved with, because you're bringing your authentic spiritual self to bear upon that situation, it's going to be amazing, right? It may be challenging, but I think it'll be intensely rewarding at the same time. Now let's put this card into some context. What are we doing with all of this kind of spiritual insight, all of this gnosis, all of this starlight that's around you? We've got a 9 of Wands. That's strength, right? And the 9 of Wands is strength that comes from knowing that self. This is inner and outer. Again, it's linking the above and the below, heaven and earth, the sun and the moon. It's linking what's within us with what is outside of us. So this is really result of this, right? We have this kind of illumination, and that makes you a very strong person. Strong in the sense that when you say you're going to do something, you do it, okay? So now I'm starting to think that maybe we have committed ourselves to something. And sometimes the star card is talking about this kind of distant goal. There's a star out there. I know it's mine, and I'm committing myself to it. I don't know really what it's going to be like when I get there. I don't know what the road is going to be like even getting there, but I'm committed to getting there. And right now, maybe it seems a little far off, right? It's a star, and they're pretty far away. But this is that commitment. This is that oath. This is the strength of your word. Yeah. What are you committing yourself to? What are you doing with all of this strength? Let's keep going here. 7 of Swords now. Down beneath the surface, there is a strong commitment to your spiritual path. I feel like there are challenges that they're challenges that you're expecting. It's like you know that there's going to be certain elements of this thing, this journey that you're taking, certain elements are going to be challenging. And you know that it might be challenging at times to stay on that straight and narrow center Ace of Swords that we see in this card, right? That middle path. It might be difficult for you to stay on that path. You know that there's going to be things that are going to try to push you over, knock you off balance. So you're ready for that. And being, forewarned is being forearmed. I think that you can prepare for these challenges. I don't know exactly what it is yet that's going on, or what this journey is for you, but now I do feel like there's a path that's been illuminated before you, and I feel like you're ready to embark on that, and you are perhaps at this moment kind of making that commitment, making that decision that I'm going to be here, I'm going to do this. This is where it's at for me, for the foreseeable future, maybe, right? But it is a path that is beset by dangers, and you're no stranger to danger. You're aware of that, and I think you have the strength to overcome this. Now, this is the Swords energy. It's mental energy, right? So within you, I think there is this, in your gut, there's just this knowledge that, yeah, there's going to be hard days in this thing. And I think if the good days didn't outweigh the bad days, then it'd be a different story. But I think you're ready for all of these challenges, because this is something that is just an absolutely kind of life-changing path for you. So it feels like it's got to be something big. It's that distant star. Why would we travel there if we had no idea what it was, how to get there, or what it's going to be when we do get there? So it must be very, very significant in your life if we're taking on this this challenge in a way, right? Let's keep going with the energies and see how this develops. We got the 9 of Swords in the background. The 9 of Swords could be representing paths that you have been on that didn't have more good days than bad days, right? We think of a 7, we think, well, that's challenging, but that ain't nothing compared to a 9 of Swords, right? 9 of Swords is as bad as it gets, okay? So Capricorn, I think you've been through the dark night of the soul. I think you've done that. You've suffered interiorly. You have dealt with a lot of your demons, so-called, right? I think you have crossed a threshold in your life, and you have overcome this this energy. Okay, and this I don't need to go into detail about what all this stuff might have been. It was unpleasant, to put it mildly. But I feel that it really prepared you for the absolute worst. If you survive this, well, then you can survive anything, right? And what do they say? What does not kill us makes us stronger. Yeah. So while you would not choose to go back here, neither would you choose to erase this from history. You see? It was very necessary. It was a critical part of your spiritual development, though it was the worst. Right? And maybe it's saying the worst is over. There are still challenges, and now I think that you've been through the worst. Now it's easy for you to kind of expect more challenges in life, but be completely at ease and ready to face them on this magical mystery journey that you're on, right? Let's see what card is up above everything. The Moon card. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like something is just about to embark. See, the Moon card shows the sun that's just about to illuminate this darkness. And in some ways, this card is talking about you being on the brink of a very important change. It could be that you are transitioning through passages, through rites of passage in your life. You know, maybe from home to school, school to career, career to retirement, you know, that sort of thing, right? Whatever it might be, that's just kind of the cliche of it. But this could be, you know, a transition into anything, into an initiation into a spiritual life, an initiation into parenthood or grandparenthood or something like this. It's a significant threshold, and that's what this card is. It's a doorway. You're at the threshold here into this new and uncertain place. And really the moon is the darkness between here and your star, wherever it is. Between here and there is kind of a darkness, right? But it's a darkness that, as you enter it, becomes illumined, because you're the light. You're bringing that sunshine into it, you know? And I don't just mean with your charming personality. I mean with your spiritual energy, with your consciousness. You're illuminating the path as you go, especially when you have that inner illumination. If you're a radiant star, well, then you are the sun at the bottom of this card that's lighting the way as you go. Okay, so I think you are boldly stepping into the next phase of your life, whatever this transition is. If it's, you know, I mean, from work to retirement kind of thing, like that, it's that significant. But this is a very important part on your spiritual journey, on your kind of hero's journey. Okay, the Moon card is kind of us entering the belly of the whale, so to speak. This is that place where we have to really figure things out as we go. It's not something that we can really see ahead of time and know exactly what it's going to be like. I think in your life, because you've had this Nine of Swords already, and I was thinking, well, you've already passed the threshold here. You've already been through the worst of it, right? But I wonder if this is kind of, if it's the next phase of your hero's journey, because it is a cycle, right? We kind of, I don't know if anybody's a fan of Joseph Campbell, but we go through the hero's journey from start to finish. We leave our kind of safe homeland, and we go out on this dangerous adventure, and we fight these monsters, and we achieve something of extreme value, and we take it back to our people, and we share it with everybody, right? We bring that gnosis, that wisdom, that boon, as Campbell calls it, back to ordinary life, right? But that cycle continues. It's not just, we don't just do it one time in our life and be like, I did it, now I can just kick back and chill and watch YouTube. It's a repeating cycle, okay? And we're gonna continue to repeat that on and on and on. It's kind of a karmic cycle in a lot of ways. So I feel like this is the next, whale for you. And I feel like it is, like I said, it's beset with dangers. We don't know what it's gonna be like. But there's this confidence in you. With this Nine of Wands, I feel that you are so ready for it. So I think it's something, it feels like something good. It's either you maybe entering retirement, maybe entering parenthood, maybe really shifting your life from here to you're going to go live somewhere overseas, right? It's this new, scary, exciting, just this extreme kind of journey for you that's at once terrifying and extraordinarily beautiful, right? So it's kind of it's a mixture of dream and nightmare. We're not sure what to really make of it, but oh boy, I can't wait to do it. Yeah, this feels really, really good. I think that, well, let's look at the next card. Yeah, cycles, right? We got the Four of Wands. I feel like this is going to be, honestly, this is going to be the best year of your life. It's going to be challenging, sure, but you're okay with that. I think you thrive on challenge. And you know that this is the opportunity for you to continue on these heroic cycles of yours, these karmic cycles of yours, continuing to learn those karmic lessons and untie those knots of karma so that you can create the kind of life and the kind of spiritual existence, the kind of reality that you truly want. See, this card is about Venus and Aries, right? It's that, it's having that passion and that driving force to create that kind of aesthetic that we want, to create the beautiful life, to create the meaningful life. And so this is really you continuing to do things in this kind of repeating, cycle of life. Every new phase that we enter into is just another trip around this wheel, right? Which really is a spiral kind of energy. But every time you do this, you're bringing about almost this kind of personal utopia, where you're creating exactly the environment that you really, maybe you didn't know you were wishing for it, but here it is, and I think it is the best thing. I feel like there is some sort of aspect of children here. I don't know why that feeling is coming to me a lot for the Capricorn readings, but I feel that there's some kind of, it's like a generational thing. And this is kind of that cycle too. The cycle of generations where it's just like we were born, we grew up, and now we're adults, I think, anyway, most of us. In body, at least, I guess. And then it's kind of like we're bringing up the next round of people. And so I feel like it's either kids, you're raising kids, or I feel like you're involved in something that's helping to train people or helping to raise people or bring people up to their, kind of spiritual adulthood even. All right. So you're some sort of a mentor or a parent or something like that. And I think it has its own challenges. It does, but I think it is so intensely rewarding for you. Now I want to select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And we're just going to set it down over here. We're going to put Tiny Bob Ross right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us our confirmation. If you have a prediction for that card, drop it in the comments. Let's talk about the path of the serpent. And as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's free. And it helps out the channel, and I really, really do appreciate that. I really do. So let's see, general energy now. Path of the serpent. We start with the 8 of. See, now we got the swords energy that are really starting to kick into high gear. We've got 7, 8, and 9. And really, we've been through the 9. The 9 is kind of this thing where it is, it's still lingering in your consciousness. This is still something that, of course, maybe it's over and done with, but maybe it's like, I'm still reeling from this. This still smarts, okay? It's still kind of influencing you, and maybe it's kind of slowing down a little bit of the crossing of this threshold into this new phase of your life, where it's just kind of like, I've had that experience, and now it makes this one a little bit. Not that you're afraid to do it. I don't think you're afraid for your personal well-being, but it's almost as if I guess the only thing I can relate it to, and I don't think this is your situation, but in my family, there's a lot of alcoholism. Okay, now this is about me. It's not about you. In my family, there's a history of alcoholism. All right. Dad, grandpa, great-grandpa, aunts and uncles, everybody, right? Myself included. And I've been sober for many years now. But it's kind of like, because there is that history, that kind of tradition in my family line, that in some ways it makes me reluctant then, or it even makes me feel, what is the right word, kind of out of place, or even a little bit wrong for trying to, I'm getting myself into a pickle now, for feeling that I have any right to try to help anybody else. Does that make sense? Or that I have any, well, even let's say with kids, that we're continuing this line of energy. And then, if I have another cycle of children, and bring up that generation, they're going to have kind of a similar challenge that I had, right? And so that's a very important factor. And it obviously didn't prevent me from having kids with my wife. We've got one daughter, just turned 4. She's amazing. She's my world. But it's something that we have to think of. It's like, well, we've got this history in my family of this. And then here we are, raising another kid. We've got to be mindful. That's all I'm saying. We got to be mindful of that. And so when I see this Nine of Swords energy for you, it's kind of like, because there's this history, it's almost like it makes me not want to go into this next cycle and do this. If you've experienced all of this, and then here you are trying to go and be a mentor or a counselor or a spiritual leader, it's almost like, well, I don't feel that I even have any right to do that. But the point I want to make is that because you have been through this, you are even more qualified to do what you're doing, right? And it may feel wrong, like the Nine of Swords, this was my past, like I don't have any right to try to help people and try to, tell them what to do, so to speak. But I feel that for you, this gives you more right to do that. You are uniquely, intensely qualified to do what you're doing. And I think you know that. And I think that's why, even though this path is going to have challenges for you, you're ready to go through this doorway and to cross this threshold, because it is your past, it is your experience that gives you the qualifications to do what you're doing right now. Okay? So having been through the fire, you're now very capable of helping other people navigate that fire or avoiding the fire altogether. Right? Whatever it is for you. But we've got this Eight of Swords here because this is something that you need to talk about. This is something that you've got to recognize in yourself, and you've got to find a way to express this, because I feel the Eight of Swords is kind of us talking about this and thinking about it and kind of trying to understand it within ourselves, but it's kind of locked up in our own mind. This is kind of a prison of our own device here. The Eight of Swords is a tangle of wires that we can't get out of. So I feel like you have to really talk about this and express this, and maybe even incorporate that Nine of Swords into your current work, into whatever this is that you're doing. If it's a family thing, if you're becoming a parent or a grandparent or a mentor or a godparent or whatever it is, the boss of a company even, or whatever, bring your experience to bear. That's all I'm saying, right? Don't ignore what you've been through. Use it. Bring it to bear on this situation. Bring that experience into what you're doing. And let's see what the next card is. In the position of the environment, Hermit energy. The Hermit energy confirms that you are acting as some sort of a guide, maybe a spiritual guide or an emotional guide, whatever. Maybe it's guided meditation, I don't know. But you are kind of a beacon of light for others. And I think this year you're really going to see that all of your past experiences, maybe we have been trying to kind of ignore this. We don't want to talk about it. I want to pretend it didn't happen. No, I think that this really is part of your strength. Okay? I do, honestly. And I feel as if you're now incorporating this into some sort of business or lifestyle or work or vocation or avocation. Or even into your parenting or your grandparenting or your godparenting, whatever, all these things. And you're using all of that to be the very best at what you're doing, right? And the Hermit is kind of showing that we are, that we have to emerge from where you are now. We have to embark on this path. We have to emerge from hermit mode, let's say, and go across that threshold. Now, the Hermit is also the kind of wise person that we might meet on our journey. And so in some ways this is about you connecting with people who came before you or with the generation before you, right? Because it kind of feels as if you're taking your experience and you want to bring it to bear on the next generation of people or of workers or of, plants, vegetables, I don't know, whatever. Whatever this is that you're doing, you're trying to bring your experience to bear on the future generations. But this is you then connecting with the past generations in the same way. So we're continuing an unbroken line of that kind of wisdom. This is that. This is kind of like the wise old man that in the mythology kind of comes along to kind of show us the way. To show us where that doorway is. It's kind of the herald of it's the call to adventure, really, in the hero cycle. And I think that this is probably a period of time in you where you really are assessing the past and trying to come to terms with a lot of these things that happened. Because like I said, the Nine of Swords is still here. It's not off the table, right? It's still here because it still smarts. It still affects you, still influences you. And this, I think, is us talking about it. This is us connecting with either the past generation. So for me, it would be kind of having this conversation with my dad or my grandpa or my aunts and uncles about this thing that runs through our family line, right? It's having this conversation and connecting with the wisdom of the older generations and using that to become yourself that kind of a guide for others. Okay? So let's see what's next. There we go. Prince of Cups. And the Prince of Cups, I think, this is fixed water energy. I think that there is a certain feeling, tone to this that we are not really letting go of. Okay? Whatever this Nine of Swords is, I think we feel a certain way about it, and that feeling's not going away. We're very identified with something. Maybe it's an anger, maybe it's a frustration, maybe it's a guilt, maybe it's a remorse, whatever. Right? We can go through all the negative feelings, and they're all here in the Nine of Swords. But the idea is that we are holding on to it in a way that is detrimental. We're looking at it as a weakness rather than a strength, right? Because we're identified with the negative aspects of it. And so in a big way, maybe this hermit energy is telling you that we have to, the call to adventure here for you, the next threshold of life for you is really one where you battle that demon and you kind of come to terms, you tame the wild beast, right, of that. And we're able to then turn that into an ally, turn it into a friend, into a strength rather than a weakness that you can then maybe even change the direction of the future cycles, the future generations, right? Depends on what we're talking about, but I feel that this is a way for you to almost nudge the river a little bit. We talk about how we can't change fate, we can't change destiny. No, but if we play our cards right, no pun intended, we can nudge the river a little bit. We can be co-creators. And there's the Ace of Pentacles. There's kind of the new way. And maybe this is you kind of starting your history, your family line or whatever, in kind of a new direction. And we're realizing that we have the power to change what was in the past, and it's not just going to repeat itself over and over and over and over and over again. This is the opportunity for you now to kind of step. We don't have to continue along this horizontal path. You can go up here into the unknown. You can start your own path. We can break away from this generational trauma, whatever you want to call it. I don't like getting too deep into those kinds of discussions. But they're valid and they're worthwhile discussions, and we need to have them. But take it how it resonates. The Ace of Pentacles is that new step. This is you stepping beyond this threshold with confidence, with gusto, and embracing this kind of new realm that you're in, this new land, this new unknown spiritual existence, right? Could be the new business, could be the new baby, could be your new role as parent or grandparent or godparent. It could be your new role as, just the kind of at the forefront of this generational change. You're trying to change the course of let's say, your family history. Instead of it just going straight the way it's always been going, you're trying to steer it a different way. And I think you're succeeding. I think this is going to be really a jackpot for you. I think it's going to be life-changing. And I think this is all really about a year span. It's something that's beginning now, and we've got to let it unfold for a while. Okay, it's not going to be instantaneous solutions. We've got to have some patience. So the mystery card maybe will be that Eight of Pentacles. It'll be that patience card. But maybe this will be the promise of the great reward. It could be the World card. It could be, I'd like to see a 9 or a 10 of Cups or a 9 or a 10 of Pentacles. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Well, we got a Queen of Cups. That's a lot of water, right? That's depth. We kind of have, again, the suggestion of the belly of the whale. That we're realizing that we're not just this one feeling that we are identified with. that there is a whole range of emotions and things in here. There's a whole range of potentials, of ideas, of desires. Yeah. And so when we think of the Ace of Pentacles, we're kind of looking at all this water, Queen of Cups, water on water. This is the infinite depths of the ocean, the infinite depths of our unconscious. And what we're trying to do is understand how this unknown, unconscious realm of ours is leading to manifestation. What fish are we gonna pull out of this infinite ocean? You know, what is it that we're going to manifest? What are we going to do with all of this? Are we just going to continue what our parents and our parents' parents did all the way back, just continue that family line? Or are we going to really steer the tanker here, nudge the river, be co-creators with Spirit, and start something new? Okay, but first I feel like we have to kind of go through that unconscious realm again. And at the beginning I said that you kind of already had your dark night. I believe that you have, and so I kind of feel as if this is something that's already, you're very much aware of. This is something that you're probably shaking your head, be like, yeah, I mean, I've been there, I've done, that's where I'm at, you know. So I don't think this is really, talking about what's going to happen down the road for you. I think this is something that you've already experienced or are currently experiencing. But the Ace of Pentacles, where you go in the future and how this all develops into a new path, a new cycle for you, I think that is where you're going today forward, right? And it's going to be very, very successful. I think you're manifesting things, right? You're really breaking ground on this and beginning the construction of whatever this new life is going to be. And I think this is really significant. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, there should be a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Capricorn every Thursday and Sunday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free, doesn't cost anything. And leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from, especially if this is your first time here. Welcome to the family. We appreciate you. There's room for everybody. You're more than welcome to stick around, to come back. Give a shout out, you know, and let me know that it's your first time here. Right? I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.